What's going on, everyone? Just sitting here on the cliff jumping spot. Can look down into the water like 50 feet, maybe 100 feet. Can't jump right now because it is low tide, so you might hit the rocks. But it's a good place to just sit and just do a video. So I want to talk about why I decided to start traveling. And travel in a specific way. I'm not I'm going to very places that not a lot of people have been to. I think I'm like one of the only foreigners on this island, at least my age. I do see I saw a French person, but I definitely think I'm probably the only American here. This place is pretty much untouched by foreigners. I decided to start traveling because I realized that life is very short. Now, we've all heard that life is short, but feeling like you have a lot of time, that's really just an illusion, you know. You think, oh, well, I'm 38 or however old you are, and you think, well, I probably live to be like 70, so I got a lot of time. But the thing is when you start living life, you start paying bills and doing all that stuff, you get kind of stuck in autopilot. And the autopilot is very seductive because you just continue to do the same thing every day. And it's familiar, it's boring, but it's comfortable. And you don't have to push your comfort zone. You don't have to try and figure things out. By and large, living life in America is already just kind of figured out for you. It's not truly living, it's existing. But you don't have to, like I said, push your comfort zone. When you come to a place like this, you have to push your comfort zone. The jet lag alone takes like a week to get over. The food, you have to meet new people. You're alone. You don't know anyone. You're in a third world country. That alone has a lot of different things you have to figure out. So it's very uncomfortable. But it's in that uncomfort, and it's in that discomfort and that pushing your comfort zone, you grow as a person. Growth can only happen through discomfort. There's no way you're going to grow and become a better person, become a more empathetic person, become a more honest person, a better version of yourself without discomfort. It doesn't happen. It can't happen. It's not how growth works. All things in life that are good have been difficult to obtain. That's why they're good. You really can't get anything in life that's good that's just freely given. Life doesn't work like that. Wish it would, just doesn't. It takes energy, it takes work to obtain difficult things. So for me, I wanted to become a version of myself that I could be proud of. A version of myself who pushed the comfort zone. A version of himself who got to the end of his life and said, I'm proud of what I did when I was alive. When I had my health, I didn't take it for granted, but I actually went out there and I did things that I could look back on and feel good about. We all hear the story of the people who have like the health scare or something happens to them. They got 1 year left to live and then they go and backpack. Then they go and finally live. And for a lot of people, I think it takes that for them to shake them out of the illusion of, it's like they're asleep at the wheel, and for them to kind of wake them up and be like, okay, your time is limited, so you better go out and start living. But for me, I didn't need that because I already felt that, right? So I already felt like, in a weird way, I already kind of felt like I was dying, but I have my health. So I already know how short life is, right? I already know how precious life is. I already know how quick it's over. So I don't need to be reminded of that. And another thing I always felt like this was the saddest part of, like, you hear about people getting sick, right? They got like not that much time to live. And the saddest part when I always would hear these stories wasn't that the doctor would be like, there's nothing else we can do. You got to get your affairs in order. It is what it is. You're going to die. That to me wasn't like, to hear that. I don't think that would be the saddest part, because that is what it is. To me, the saddest part would be when the family would sit down with you and then they would be like, so what do you want to do with the time you have left? That to me, like, I would never want to hear that. I would never want to hear that, because that to me proves that I didn't really do anything. I didn't really do anything with the time that I had, if that makes sense. Like everyone would know that well, you didn't really go out there. You didn't really do anything. So like, what do you want to do? Let's help you do it. But for me, if that time would ever come, hopefully not for a very, very long time, but life is short. But if that time were to ever come, they wouldn't really need to ask me that, because they'd be like, well, I mean, this dude was out doing it. He was out in the thick of it. So I don't know what. I guess the only thing I would say is like I would just hang out with my friends and family, and that would be it, because I already did everything I wanted to do. I already backpacked a third world country and freaking met random people and rode motorbikes down the street at 2 a.m. And I mean, I've done it, and cliff jumped in amazing oceans and boarded a shipping vessel to a remote island. Just, all of it, man. Like, I wouldn't have anything to really, I guess, go do, because I already pretty much did it all. And I did it all when I was healthy. So, I guess what I'm saying is life is luck. A lot of life is luck. Any time you get is luck. So you get some time. If you're fortunate enough to be somewhat young and you have a little bit of money and you have your health, my God, you are so lucky. You really have no idea how lucky you are. You are so freaking lucky, because those three combinations, very few people actually get that opportunity to sit here and do what I've been doing. Very, very few people. Very few people. And I am blessed, and I am fortunate, and I am, I guess, self-aware enough to realize that is a blessing that should never be taken for granted. So I'm basically capitalizing on the blessings that I have been given. And I'm not taking anything for granted. And who knows? I believe my life has just gotten started. I believe this is a very awesome start to an amazing, spectacular journey called my life. And in no way, shape, or form am I, believing that anything bad's going to happen. I don't think anything bad's going to happen to me. I think I'm going to live for a very, very long time. But you never know. You never know. Life, anything can happen. Life throws curveballs. And I would hate to be that person that if something bad did happen, I said, I wished I would have done that with my health. I wished I would have not. I wished. I don't have to say I wished. I could say I did. That to me seems like the worst regret to have. That would be the worst pain to have. To be like, know that your time is coming to an end in there. And you would have been like, well, what good is money now when you have a year to live? What good is paying your student loans when you have a year to live? What good is that when you don't have anything left? So your health is rich. If you have your health, you're rich. Period. You got your health, you're rich. That's it. End of story. You got a little bit of money. You got your youth. You're somewhat young. You are rich, my friends. Just realize that. So anyway, that's why I decided to go out and travel. I wanted to become a version of myself I was proud of. I wanted to become a better person. I wanted to become a person who could face the unknown, could do difficult things, could feel lonely, and be okay with the boredom. And traveling is very boring a lot of times. It's exciting to be, sitting here and experiencing all of this beauty, but to getting here is actually kind of boring. You sit on a plane for 15 hours, you sit in an airport for 2 hours, a plane gets delayed, a flight gets canceled because of weather, which all that stuff happened to me. You sit on a van for 3 hours, you sit on a boat for 3 hours. You're sitting and waiting a lot of times traveling. Very boring. A lot of it's very boring. So part of life is just handling the boredom, is just allowing yourself to be bored and not needing to do anything, which that for me was very difficult. And that's one thing traveling has been teaching me, is just patient. Let life unfold on its time frame. You don't have to try and force anything to be. Just let life happen at its speed. Especially in America, we have a really hard time doing that. We want things delivered instantly. Amazon Prime, 2 hours, next day delivery, right now, free shipping, want it now, impatient. Why didn't the waiter get back and drop the check? I need to get out of here fast, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. When you're on an island like this, nothing is quick. It might take them 15 minutes to make a coffee. It might take them 20 minutes to do this or whatever. Everything moves at its own pace, and you have to just accept that. And, that's a beautiful thing, because it forces you to kind of just let go for one, and learn patience. Which I think if you can learn patience, if you can learn how to just sit in the moment and just appreciate the beauty that's there. I mean, how many people can do that? Very rarely. Very few people can do that. But it seems to be the way, the island way, the tropical island way, is to live in the moment. And it is a beautiful thing. I mean, if you could travel here for like a year and just learn that, just learn how to appreciate the beauty around you and appreciate life, it would be the most profound experience you could ever experience. It would change your life. And it's definitely changing mine. So I'm gonna stop the video here. I'm done rambling, but yeah, just gonna finish my coffee and enjoy this serene beauty. Talk to you later. Peace.